So, of all the positions groups out here, I can't think of a position that's going to be more intense competition than running back. Do you kind of sense that when you're out there?
Every day we go out there as a unit to get better, push each other, and it's a competition. So, best man comes out on top. It's going to be a great competition all fall camp, and I'm looking forward to it.
What did you do to add to your game in the off season?
I did a lot. Worked on my conditioning. I feel like I got a little faster, a little stronger, and a lot better as far as my fundamentals and the way I run the football.
Was there a particular hole that you thought you had in your game last year that you were trying to really fix?
Yeah, it's just getting going a little faster, getting downhill and breaking tackles. I really try to develop myself on that this summer, just being more elusive and a more versatile running back.
You guys did a lot of, it seemed like, ball security to start out the day today. Is that a normal thing, or has that been an emphasis from Coach Lindgren and Coach Stewart?
It is an emphasis, but if you win the turnover margin, you should win the game more than likely. So that's what we like to work on here at Oregon State. I'm sorry.
How did you walk away from last season feeling? What did you think of your season? What did you want to improve? Were you hungry? How did you feel?
Well, as a team, I feel like we left a lot out there. I feel like we weren't very well. I feel like we didn't do very well on the road. Me personally, I feel like I didn't give it everything I got last season. So I came to pick up the pieces and just leave everything out there this year.
Obviously, the running game was a big part of your offense last year. Do you guys feel like you're not going to take any steps back this season, given the depth you've got at running back and what's back on the offensive line?
No, I don't see any reason why we should. I feel like we got the best O-line in all the country. So, running the ball, that's what they want to do. That's what we want to do. Like, that's our DNA. So that's what we're going to do.
Do you feel like that's one way this team has grown from last year to this year?
I do. I feel like as a running back in the run game with our offense, I feel like the run game really helps spark the team. Even the defensive players like the way we run when we run physical and we're scoring touchdowns. So I feel like that gives us a good burst for the whole team.
What have you liked about the new guys, Jam and Damian Martinez, in that backfield with you?
I love having those guys in my backfield, man. It's just like a good compliment. Like, it's hard to say it's competition within. Iron sharpens iron, and I just love every freaking part of it.
Do you feel like you guys kind of bring unique skill sets and running styles? Do you have a certain way that you run the ball that's maybe different from Trey? And what's kind of the difference between you guys?
Trey specifically, Trey can do just about anything a receiver can do, and he can do anything a running back can do. So that just gives him so much versatility. Me personally, I like to run between the tackles. Not saying I can't do some of the things Trey can't do, but it is a very different, because of our size, it's very different. But our game is not polar opposites, but I feel like we can do some of the same things as well.
In these early practices, limited contact, what are you looking to improve on specifically?
The details.
Sean, what about the pass blocking element and how important that is in what you do in your craft?
Honestly, that's been number one on my list all summer, just working on my strike and being able to protect the quarterback so I can be on every down. Thank you.
So, Brian, what these first few days of camp, what are you looking for from your quarterbacks? Because obviously you're not doing a lot of scrimmaging and things like that.
Yeah, I think taking control of the operation, right? Managing our huddle, getting to play in and out, the right personnel, and then I think it's a lot of just fundamental technique stuff-wise. Like, we've got a lot of base install, kind of our core plays. Is just really focusing and dialing in on the technique within those individual concepts and mastering those techniques, and then taking the individual stuff that we do, drill a lot of individual focus on those techniques and taking it to a team setting, whether it's Skelly or the team drill at the end.
This is your fifth camp here. What is the depth at quarterback and the talent there as good as you've had here, or how do you feel?
I feel like the depth is pretty solid. I feel like between Tristan and Chance, you got two guys that have started some games in the Pac-12. Chance started just about all last season, and Tristan the year before started a bunch of games for us and has played in some big time environments. So I feel really good about those two. And Ben Branson is another young guy that has been in the program now for 3 years. Knows the system, doesn't have the experience those other two do, but I feel pretty good about the three guys just being in our system, really familiar with what we're doing, and it's excited, to see them battled out here this camp.
You know what Chance can do over a full season as a starter. What does Ben or Tristan need to do to win the job for the season?
I just think it's consistency, and day in and day out, doing things that we're going to ask him to do within our system. And, Chance did some good things for us. He got us out of some trouble with his feet, did some good things. And then in the past game, there were some areas where we missed some things down the field, and teams were able to kind of load up a little bit against our run, and that's kind of been a focus of ours is, get that pass game going, get sharper with that. So I just think consistency day in and day out, and then when they get those opportunities with the first group, which we're going to give all three of them, take advantage of those, whether it's a team drill or any of those competitive situations that we put them in.
Yeah.
To that point with the long ball and getting things going downfield, how confident are you with this mix of quarterbacks, receivers, and of course the pass protection you're getting up front that you can make improvements there?
Well, it takes all parts of it, like you said, and I do. I feel pretty good about the group we got. I mean, a lot of these guys, veteran guys, like you said, have been here, 3, 4, 5 years, ever since I got here. Some of them have been here just about as long as I've been here, so that's a good thing, and they're familiar with the concepts we're doing, and they played a lot of football in this league. So I think we've kind of challenged them at the beginning of the camp, and I'm just looking forward to seeing it develop, seeing it improve over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Deshaun was just mentioning how he feels like the running back group covers sort of all the elements you would want out of a running back. Do you feel the same way from what you've seen from the group the first couple of days?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got a great group, man. That's as deep a group you talk about that as we've had for sure since we've been here. I mean, Deshaun's a big physical guy. Did some great things for us last year. You look at Trey Lowe, can do some different things with him. I'm really excited with the possibilities that we have with him. And then Damian Martinez, a young guy, flashed in the spring, and another physical guy. And so, I feel good. And then we're bringing in Jam, from Georgia Tech there, and he's already flashed a couple times through the first couple practices. So, excited about that group and all the different things we can do with them.
Can you see the offense being similar to last year in terms of ratio, where you're running the ball 55, 60% of the time as you did a year ago, or do you think that might change a little bit?
I think it's just week to week sometimes, and it's I would like to run the ball that much if we can, and if the defense allows it. And I just think it's so much week to week on what we're seeing, what the defense has given us, and on a certain week if we want to go leaning towards the run a little bit more to set up the pass, or kind of opposite way. But it's too early to tell right now with the group that we got.
As far as guys stepping in on the offensive line, obviously you're replacing a couple of veterans. I know Tolly hasn't been able to go live, but what have you seen from that group and guys stepping into those leadership roles and whatnot? Yeah,
Tolly hasn't been out there right now, but I like Tolly from what he did in the spring and last fall, and I think he's got a huge upside. He's going to do some good things. And Henley Bloomfield is a guy that is coming off an injury, and he's been out there. It's been great to see him. Strong kid, smart. I like him. And then there's a group of 2 or 3 more that are in the mix and kind of rolling into the first group a little bit, rolling in with the second group, and it'll just be, like I said, through the next couple weeks, just watching those guys progress. And then I'm excited about just building that depth, 6, 7, 8, 9 in that group, to where if we have a guy go down, we don't miss a beat.
The defense was pretty sharp today in those head-to-head matches. Is that helpful when they're really bringing it and taking it personal?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. And that, I mean, they got a lot of veteran guys back there, and they had great energy today, made a ton of plays, and I think it's awesome. I just think it forces us as an offense to raise our game, and it always excites me because on the best football teams that I've been a part of, we're always really good on defense. And so I know we've got a lot of veteran players that have played a lot of ball for us, been around, and those guys are pretty solid, man. So it's forcing us on offense to up our level of play, and it'll make us better as a team.
They haven't been giving Harrison a whole lot of room out there.
Trayshawn he'll get him, man. He'll be all right, man. He'll be all right.
They know where he's at.
Yeah.
You've had the summer to look at the 2 freshman quarterbacks. What kind of been your impression of those 2?
Yeah, I think right now, there's some things mechanically with Dom Montiel, the kid we got out of Coos Bay, that we're trying to work on, and as a young guy. And Travis Throckmorton, I'm really excited about his ability to throw the football, man. He's been coming here and spinning it, made a big touchdown throw yesterday in practice. I just think for those guys right now, they're kind of swimming mentally, not having been here in the spring. We throw a lot at them these first couple days with install, and so I think those guys are thinking a lot right now out here, processing a lot, and it's just a good learning experience for them. But I've been impressed with those guys as an individual, and look forward to their upside.
Yeah, Travis throws a pretty ball.
Yeah, he can spin it. Yeah.
The offensive line doesn't get a lot of attention and love in the sport of football. You know, they're not the ones scoring the plays, they're not the one catching the touchdowns, but why are they kind of the heartbeat of this team? You have so many veterans in there with Jake and Brandon, but what do they add to this group that has contributed to the team's success?
I just think the physicality and energy that they play with, to me, jumps out. And I could tell that from last year is when you go out and those guys are coming off the ball and we're running the ball, you know, getting 6, 7, 8 yard gains and hitting explosive runs, that just, everybody feeds off that. And those guys, some of those guys have some big personalities, and it's just a fun energy to be around when those guys get going. And then our guys understand that really sets up our play action game, and we get those guys going, and they bought into that. So yeah, we've got a good group, and like I said, those guys have been here, some of them just as long as me. So experienced guys with a lot of confidence right now is a fun group to be around.
At the beginning of practice, you guys were doing a lot of ball security drills. Was that an emphasis you noticed from last year to this year you wanted to carry over, or just a fundamental thing?
Fundamental thing. I mean, it's something that we're emphasizing every year, and we at times we were good with it, but that's a number that we'd like to see lower for sure. And I just think that's always the number one stat that tells you most wins and at all levels of football, and that's something that we always emphasize all throughout camp, and we'll continue to emphasize all year, is taking care of the ball.
Coming back after the summer when you don't really get to see the guys a lot after spring practices, and what's one thing that you've noticed in these just couple practices that the guys have come back after summer training? What is the biggest difference?
First off, I just think that some of those guys have put on some good weight and you know, look stronger, a little bit faster. I mean, I think our strength staff is one of the best that I've ever been around, and those guys, I mean, did a great job this summer. You can tell those guys have been putting in work. And then I just think another thing is the camaraderie that the team has. It's a lot of veteran guys. I feel like we've got a player-led group and out there, and the energy's been great the first couple days. And to me, those are the two that stand out the most.
There's one area you got to clean up before that first game. What would it be?
We got a lot to clean up before the first game. I couldn't even pick out one. I mean, you know, there were a couple turnovers today. I would say that was the thing, and then I think another thing for us is eliminating pre-snap penalties. Last year, we had some false starts, delay a game here and there, and whenever you're taking one of those penalties, it just reduces the percentage of drives that are going to end in the score. And so that's something that we've been really hitting on our guys, particularly early part of camp.
All right, how's it felt these first 2 days out here?
Good. You know, we've all been working and getting back into football shape. Running isn't the same as football shape, so we're obviously a little tired, but it's getting there. And we're ready. We're getting ready.
What was your main goal here in the off season and to get ready for this camp?
Getting healthy, getting accustomed back to playing center again. I don't know, learning, basically just trying to get back and working with everyone and getting everyone back, like I said, back into football shape.
I know a big thing on this line is that a lot of you guys can play at multiple positions, and obviously you're moving this year back to center. How has that transition gone for you, just, you know, knowing that you guys do have the ability to play at so many positions?
It's good because, you know, having depth is important. I mean, going down last year and having Marco step up was big time, and, you know, we can really, all those five positions are interchangeable. I think Josh can go and play center if he had to, so I think it's big time to have versatility like that.
How did you walk away from last season? What were you feeling, and how did you bring it into the off season, getting ready for this year?
Angry. You know, that was a bitter taste and loss. Not fun. So it was all definitely motivation to come back and try to kick some butt this year.
You and Brandon are extremely vocal, always loud, always cheering, whether it's positive or negative. How does the rest of the O-line room take that?
You know, we just try to create energy. If we see people, you know, down or no energy, we try to fake it till you make it, basically, you know. And I think that goes a long way. I think that's good to have a lot of people doing that, and I don't know. I think that's good.
Do they have a choice to
No.
not take it?
No, you gotta, I don't know. If you're low energy, we're gonna get on you. So, yeah.
As someone who's been here for a handful of years, how have you seen this offensive line group really progress over the last few years? I mean, to a point where last year, you were arguably, one of the more productive groups in the country.
I think the ground was set with Blake and Gus and all those guys that came up before us, and we've just been building on to that year by year. I think that's just a culture that's been set, and Coach M's the leading guy that's set that culture. So.
Summer, go ahead.
Offensive linemen love when you run the ball. Do you like it that this team's identity is to run the ball?
Oh yeah, I'd run the ball 100% of the time if we could. But if whatever gets us to win the game. So.
Summer training is a grind. Fall camp is a grind. What is the excitement that you see in it, even though it's a grind?
That first snap out there when we're gonna go kick Boise State's butt. I want to go out there. I want to go out there and play. So, yeah, that's the biggest motivation right now is to go out there and get to that point of working and going to be able to play a game.
Well, you mentioned running the ball, and there's a couple of newcomers in that running back room. What are your thoughts on what you've seen from that group so far?
We got anybody can run the ball. We got a lot of guys that can run the ball in that room. So whoever's going to be behind there, we're going to block our butts off for them. I'm excited. I can't wait to see who's going to be able to carry the ball. Like I said, I think if we can got 5 guys carry the ball, that'll be fun.
How much of an emphasis has ball security been in these few days getting ready? I mean, I know it's everything for you guys, but how much of an emphasis is that to protect the running game and protect whoever is behind you at QB1?
That's our biggest emphasis right now is our big talking points about fall camp is ball security. So, winning teams don't give up the ball. Losing teams do. So ball security is huge.